The first time God said that his spirit will not strive with man was in Genesis. And you know what that means. Man would be allowed to wander in his foolishness, without the spirit that will guide him into exploring the things that the loving God have made for him to possess, until he leaves the earth without peace. And that was because the spirit couldn't find peace in man. He couldn't express himself. For man sought not the way of God. There the days of man was shortened, and so it is today. It means that man will be left to his ways, and it is dangerous. The sons of God had come to get for themselves beautiful daughters of men, and they willingly yielded to it. That was a bridge. It was like a man leaving the natural use of woman to go for a man like himself, and woman leaving the natural use of man to go for woman. The pleasure of God was not in them, they see the ways of God as thorn in their flesh. They pushed God out of their plan. They removed the thought of God from their minds willingly, so that the will feel free to do whatever they wish. Everything God created is good and perfect. This is the path our generation has choosing, to follow the same destructive step of the old generation that perished as a result of their way. To push God away from their thoughts, their example was not enough for us, for all things was written down for us to learn, for we all see their end. But man seems to have hardened his heart against God. They do not have pleasure in him. They want to be left to themselves. The way of the just God is like a wrong way in their sight. But it is certainly the right way. The adults, youths, children has rejected that way, and am wondering the destruction that awaits man. Man is swiftly drifting away from God. He is rejected in our nations and societies. The lawmakers of nations are against the just and holy God, as they push him away from their countries, forcing every of their citizen to do the same. Businesses and institutions are rejecting the just and holy God, and even the clergy and church are pushing him away, been influenced, not allowing him to have a full expression among his people, for gain's sake. The youth have taken it upon their shoulders, to speak against God and his ways. There is a great twist, and it was so sudden. How was man invaded overnight and was conquered, for the essence of life has been taken away from him. Man will soon destroy himself. How did he become so foolish? How is he the one pleading, and working ways for his death and destruction to come? What have befalled us? The end is near. Man is heading for destruction in ignorance and foolishness. The thought they are wise but they become fools. The thought they see, but blind. It happened to them in the past, and here it is playing again. What can man do without God? What nature of pride and self-will has brought us to this point? Let everyone return to God our Maker. Things are rapidly tearing apart. Even the nations that were standing, has falling, and yet they didn't know they are on the ground. Is man blinded? How has he lost the true taste of life? What are they searching for? The friends of God has become his enemies overnight. They sought him for a while, and he showed himself. He blessed them as people and nation and make them the number one in the world. All the while they sought him, their fear was in the heart of all nations, and all nations wished to be their friend. But now, pride have set in, the enemy set in with deception for destruction. They thought that what they are and have achieved was in their own strength. But think about their children. What will be their hope? They have no inheritance from their parents. They have been taught the way of destruction. Their parents has eaten portion of their meal. Return, O you people and nations. How has the fathers hated their children? They drank the water that was divinely supplied from the ocean of life and enjoyed it, but stepping over, they closed the way that lead to the water. Even for their own children, they left no trace of their footsteps, lest their own fruit of wounds should discover it. Arise, children, and cry to God for your destiny. Look unto God, for the fathers are failing, asking him to help you and that he should bring back your fathers. Can a tree live without its roots? So will man not succeed without God his Maker. Return, for the Lord is waiting for you. Let the lawmakers learn from the Bible and make their law. For the world of God is the only true law that will preserve the universe. Removing God, his word and knowledge is removing life from men on earth. It is wrong, deadly and disastrous. What wrong have the holy God done to you? Why take his glory and give it to that which is not God? Evil knowledge is rampart everywhere, it has become the norm among the old and young, the rich and the poor, the elderly, youths and children. What foundation are we laying for the coming generation? Will you wipe out the knowledge of God in the world he created for himself? That is wickedness, and you shall not succeed. Can a man fight God? Can a man challenge his maker? He will crush man in a moment. He knows your beginning and your end. He knows what you were made of, and your life is in hand. Don't take his mercies for granted. If you do, you won't escape his judgment. Will a man be wiser than God? Never, for in all the things man has known and found out, we have not even discovered the beginning of the knowledge of the just God. Awake unto righteousness, O you nations and people, for the way of God is the way of life. Please, don't push him away, allow him to lead you by his word, search for him diligently, he is near to them that seek him. Pick up your Bible and find his ways until you arrive to point of knowing him and his way. Teach your soul to pant after him. Then shall he teach you the secrets of life that has never been discovered by any. Return unto him, and he will embrace you with the embrace of mercy and love, and will return to you with all his goodness. But if pride be in your heart, know it certainly that your fall is near. Thanks.